Hello and welcome to Extra Vibes. Of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course hit that notification bell. This week we're talking about vinyl, of course, and you know why do people buy it when they could just stream it or get a CD or something like that. Of course, I'm one of the kind of new adopters to vinyl.
Yes, Ryan is now into the slow hole of addiction. It's the bit of the start where it's all exciting. So there's less darkness around it.
Yes.
It's all new.
And one of the big things I noticed when I started buying vinyl, there was this whole thing, particularly online, there's loads and loads of videos talking about what's better.
Yes.
Streaming, so Spotify, and other places, or CD or vinyl.
In terms of audio quality.
Yes, yeah. But it was about like essentially numbers. Yeah. So what's the output? And every single one was always like, oh well, digital is superior. So because of that output. Because it's got I don't know the phrases for it, but it's like it has so many.
It's got more clarity to it. It doesn't age as badly. It's one of them where you can literally just click on it and you'll get the best sounding product straight away without any issues there. We're obviously with vinyl CDs, which is now long in the past. It's been lost, which is very weird. You've got that that thing where you've got to look after them, otherwise you won't get the best representation of what you're trying to listen to.
Yes, and I think that in many ways they're all kind of slightly missing the point to why people are buying vinyl again.
You're missing the point.
Yeah. This is where I get the hordes of angry people going, what?
This man doesn't know me, how dare he?
Yeah. But I think, when you're looking at it from that perspective of like, is it superior in terms of numbers and stuff? And, well, if that's the answer, then, people shouldn't buy vinyl. Or, why are they doing it? I think it's more of an experience in general. I can jump on Spotify now and play anything I generally want. And you could probably argue it's perfect.
Yeah.
But I think that there's a whole process, isn't there, with vinyl? Like for me, it's that kind of you're taking it out the sleeve. You're looking on the cover. It could be a gatefold, something like that. You get large images of
picture
whoever
disc.
It is. Yeah, you could get a picture disc, you get colour vinyl. Yeah. Whatever takes your fancy with it, really. But and obviously when you put it on, you've got to then turn it over, and halfway through the album. And I think that's it. Kind of, it makes you focus on it more, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think that I think the key with vinyl is ownership. I think before I go to a record store, I've got already things that I'd like to buy. I've got a backup, a constant list of things that I want to add to my collection, and it's my collection. It's a representation of who I am. Yeah, musically, and that's from childhood when it was Iron Maiden, it was Saxon, it was Metallica, to where I am now, where I've got a bit pretentious, a bit of Neil Young, a bit of James Arthur. I want a whole representation of my kind of musical journey, and when you're streaming, you don't get that, because I think you naturally flicker, and it's fantastic for investigating bands.
Yes,
it's fantastic for trying new things, but with vinyl, you don't really. I don't find myself trying. I'll buy an album if I've listened to it a little bit on Spotify and I thought, oh, that's cool, I like the vibe of this band, maybe I'll buy the vinyl. But most of the time I'm getting albums or bands that I know I already enjoy, which is, I think, is very interesting, very different to obviously people buying songs on iTunes or streaming.
Yes, it's a different for me. It's that journey with it. Like I like kind of. I mean, it's pretty much like a throwback, and I think that's kind of part of the attraction, particularly for that younger crowd that are now buying it. It's that thing of like, you go to the record store, you don't know necessarily what you're going to buy sometimes, for some people. And you can bring it home, and it could be a used one. It could have, who knows where it could have been previously. And I think it's that whole package, because everything now is so accessible.
Yeah,
and it's kind of made some things throwaway.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have a physical thing, it's on vinyl, it's here, it's you can see who's the musicians on it and everything like that. It comes with extra artwork. As you say, it's yours.
Yeah.
At that point, but it's for me, it's that kind of it's not throwaway. Like quite literally, it's in front of you, and you can't skip tracks, really, can you?
No,
I mean, I suppose you can.
And from a musician's
Yeah.
point of view, I we're currently writing the next Rivers album,
Yeah.
and we're writing it with vinyl in mind, and it completely changes the way that you write an album because side one and side two are like separate albums. So you're thinking, right, people are going to turn this over, they're going to want to be kicked in the face straight away, you know, and you have to limit the amount of time that you have on a vinyl as well, because to get the best overall audio quality. And when you look back in time, classic albums, they were only about 9 tracks, 10 tracks, Led Zepp 4, Back in Black, so it starts to make you think about all of this. And I think you're spot on, right, with the fact that in a world where everything's so easy and so accessible, I think we're now yearning for something that's a bit,
it's tangible.
Yeah, that's real.
Yes.
That's completely living, If you don't have the amp on and you just drop the needle, you can hear the music in the grooves, which is fucking killer.
It's weird.
Badass. It's weird. It's mental, but it's amazing. I mean, Jack White's recently done an article that's kind of blown up because he runs his own vinyl printing press, and he's encouraging people and record companies to build their own vinyl printing presses again because the demand is so high. I know myself and a lot of other bands on the scene it's about a 9-10 foot waiting list if you're pre-ordering vinyl now, which is massive and shows that the demand is there. So I think the real thing is there, that even if you're looking for the sonic quality, that still can be achieved in vinyl, but you're just getting a greater experience that's entirely your own, which you don't really get with streaming, and you're supporting bands at the core of it, which I think is really, the coolest thing about it.
There's that, and for years I heard about this thing of like, it sounds warmer than a digital or CD or whatever it is.
Sonic apple pie.
Yeah, and for years I was like, what the hell are you on? It sounds warmer. How can something
That's
sound
like a guitar
warmer?
world, that word that is.
Yeah.
We use words like sizzler. It's
Yeah,
warm.
like you think, what the hell's that? But when you put it on, it was like, yeah, I do kind of. It does sound warm. I mean, as I say, if you're looking from a technical standpoint, maybe it's not superior, but it depends on what you're looking for. I think
it depends on what your judgment of superior is as well. My dad's got a massive setup. He's got a phono stage, he's got an amplifier, he's constantly upgrading his speakers, constantly upgrading his needle, his record player, and because it feels real, like the bass when on vinyl, you really feel the groove of it, and I don't think you get that as much from streaming, from digital sort of platforms. So you're losing that amount of work and every aspect of a song that's gone into it. Whereas when you've got a great vinyl setup, you hear it all. It's stereo, you've got left, right, and as I was saying, you hear a story of an album because you're not going to get up off your fat arse and change it, which is important stuff, but there's positives and negatives to both, right? I think that's the overall sort of takeaway from it.
Yeah, there are pitfalls. I mean, I once had there's like a tiny speck of dust and it was jumping.
Wait till you had 30 years.
I had to analyse it. I was like, what the hell's wrong with this? And it's like, just because of that. So there are obvious problems, but I think it's
it's real. It's a living thing.
But that's it. It's like I think the perfection is in the imperfection.
Always.
Like the whole digital thing. Maybe people are attracted to it because it's almost the vinyl, because it's almost too perfect. Like you don't want it to sound so perfect that it maybe doesn't feel real anymore.
Yeah. And I think I find myself then naturally skipping songs very easily because it's there in front of me. I think, I really want to listen to Robert John the Reg. Hang on, I can listen to Robert John the Reg. I really want to listen to, I haven't heard that song in ages, which is great. Yeah. But at the same time, you can get lost in that. I find myself skipping songs all the time. I'll put a playlist together, whereas when you've got a record on, you just leave it on, and you can really immerse yourself in the music as the artist worked hard for and intended. But as I say, for me, I think streaming is a fantastic accessibility, which can then maybe push you to then buy an album, buy a CD, buy the vinyl, whatever, and you can enjoy both in different reasons. But I think that's kind of our way of putting across the reasons why vinyl is now kind of going,
why it's coming back. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I don't know any other format that is this old that can now
Well, CDs won't
just
come
return.
back.
No.
I'll be amazed if CDs... Cause cassettes are a little bit, because there's kind of a hipster generation, you know, that...
It's like a novelty.
Yeah, very much a
Item.
novelty. Having
Yeah.
a little cassette tape in your hand, you know, is a wonderful thing. Similar to vinyl, you know, having a...
This is it. I think it's that tangible thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think because vinyl comes with a greater overall package, I think that's what people are drawn to. But, you know, what are your thoughts? That's the ultimate question, isn't it?
Of course, yes. We want to know your vibes below in the comments. Are you a vinyl listener? Are you a vinyl collector? Have you just recently started with the new boom? Or have you constantly collected vinyl and been wondering what the hell everyone else has been doing this whole time? Or are you strictly streaming because it's just so easy and so accessible? You know, are you one of them people that will listen to albums all the way through, even on streaming? If you are, God bless you. But let us know in the comments.
Yes. Comment below, let us know, and we'll see you next time.